Welcome to the Baldwin City Ballpark for Game 2 of this doubleheader between the Junction City Brigade and the Baldwin City Blues. Start off by announcing the starting lineup for Junction City. Batting first, the shortstop, Kyrell Taylor. Second, the center fielder, Ian Luce. Third, the third baseman, David Simmons. Fourth, the first baseman, Giovanni Toledo. Fifth, the second baseman, Andy Pacheco. Sixth, the catcher, Keegan McDonald. Seventh, the designated hitter, Zach Becker. Eighth, the left fielder, Sammy Padilla. And ninth, the right fielder, Cale Ortner. Pitching for Junction City is Connor Prizer. Now for Baldwin City, as Taylor fouls off the 1 and 2. The count now 1 and 2. So for Baker University batting, or excuse me, not Baker University, wow. For Baldwin City, the batting first, the designated hitter, Marquis Williams. Second, the shortstop, Jackson Evans, as Kyrell Taylor chases an outside fastball. And one down for Baldwin City. And we will get to the pitcher's name in just one moment. We know it. We want to go for the reveal. So batting first, the designated hitter, Marquis Williams. Second, the shortstop, Jackson Evans. Third, the left fielder, Ryan Cox. Fourth, the first baseman, Kendall Rivero. That one hit to the glove of Rivero. He throws to the pitcher, Whalen. 2 away. And in steps David Simmons.
And where we didn't see a strikeout in the first 4 innings of the first game of this matchup, we see one in the first half inning.
Yeah, the first at-bat.
Yeah,
actually.
first at-bat, yeah.
So finishing off with Baldwin City. So batting fourth, the first baseman, Kendall Rivero. Second, fifth, the second baseman, Caleb Welshire, as the first pitch to David Simmons is outside for ball 1. Sixth, the third baseman, Tyson Grammer. Seventh, the catcher, Austin Arocha. Eighth, the right fielder, Hudson Ivy. And ninth, the left fielder, Kyan Gus. Pitching for Baldwin City is Logan Whalen.
Nice, well done.
Yeah, there. Finally got it done. Simmons sees 1-1 and makes contact, fouls it off. Make that 1 and 2. Simmons, quite
Three
the
3 for 4 in the first game.
Yeah, hit very, very well and very efficient.
2 singles to left field and 1 up the middle.
Yep, but the 1-2 swung on and missed. Dropped third strike, but Arocha easily applies the tag, so that'll
2
do
strikeouts.
it. Yep, that'll do it here in the top of the first inning. No runs off, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. The 1-2-3 leads us to the bottom of the first after the break. Marquis Williams leads off the bottom of the first. A 1-2-3 top of the first inning. And the pitcher for Junction City is Connor Prizer. The first pitch by Prizer outside for ball one.
One thing I'm going to notice is obviously we have a new home plate umpire, so the zone's going to change. Obviously, maybe a little bit. So it'll be interesting for both teams to adjust to a new umpire behind the plate and see where they go from there.
Yep, the 1-0 outside once again, so 2-0. The count now to Marquis Williams, and Junction City and Baldwin City taking a little bit different approaches to their Game 2 lineups. Junction City has fielded a similar lineup as this one, hit into left field, but into the glove of Sammy Padilla. So there's only there's one away now. That was,
I think that
say, well hit by Williams, but well caught by Padilla. But
I want to point out, just I know we talked about it in the last game, but the speed of both teams, that just showcased the speed right there. Obviously, Marquis Williams with a striped line drive to the left center gap.
As Jackson Evans hits one, it'll be out of play on the third base side, 0-1.
But yeah, I mean, Marquis Williams line drive to left center, and Padillo is just there. I mean,
but yeah, the speed that we talked about, we were talking about it more like base running and stuff like that. But yeah, it's definitely been
their whole outfield with Ian Luce and his supporting right and left fielder. I mean, obviously they can cover a lot of ground there.
The 0-1 low in the dirt for ball two. Excuse me, ball one. So they count now 1-1. Yep.
One's across the board.
Yeah,
in the first inning.
1-1, bottom of the first inning.
You know what 1-1, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is?
If I'm following you correctly, I think it's 4.
And that would be Jackson Evans' number.
Oh, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
It's also how many bases there are. But the count now 2-1 to Evans, who fouls one off into the fence. The count now 2-2. Well, you know what 2 plus 2 is?
Full.
Yeah, it's Jackson Evans' number.
-1. That's 3. Quick maths. Never heard of that song?
Of course I have.
I was going to say. If you wouldn't, I would be kind of shocked.
You think I don't know Big Shaq?
The one and only. Men's Not Hot.
Yeah. Babes, take off your jacket. The 2-2. Fouled off. Remains 2-2. I said, Babes, Men's Not Hot. The 2-2. Hit up the middle, but to the glove of Kyrell Taylor. Throw to first is in time. 2 outs.
At this time, we ask that all sponsors report to the first base dugout. Batting for the Blues.
And Ryan Cox, the third batter in the Baldwin City Blues lineup, makes his first plate appearance of the game. And the first pitch he sees is fouled on the first base side. Count now 0-1.
I was calling a shot.
But the count 0-1 to Cox, who, if he gets on, would represent the first base runner of the game for either team. Should he be retired, then it would be 2-1, 2-3 innings. As he sees pitch low and away for ball one. Baldwin City's methods of retirement was a strikeout, a 3-1 putout, and another strikeout. Dropped third strike, but tag easily applied. And for Baldwin City, or in the bottom of this frame so far, it's been a fly-out ground out, and remains to be seen. TBD. But the count is 1-2. And this pitch hit into left field over the head of Padilla. And that ball is out of here. Ryan Cox with his first home run of the season. And Baldwin City scores their first run of the day, the first run of the game. They lead 1-0.
That was a huge hit by Cox.
Yeah.
That thing was juiced, and I will get into the analytics after. But, man, Padilla just looked at that ball,
Yeah.
took 5 steps back, and watched it go right over.
Yeah. So that's Kendall Rivera, the next batter up to the plate. And he takes the first pitch low, 4-1.
So as you saw on Ryan Cox, home run shot, we have no equipment here that would calculate the launch angle nor the exit velo.
I swear.
But I will say that
Exit velo is more fun than launch angle.
Yes, I would agree. Well, I'm into that stuff, so I like both of them.
You are you?
Yep.
Do
But
you want to swing on?
I will say the launch angle wasn't as high as a typical home run would go over. And like you said, there's a lot of line drive homers and everything like that, which is
there's also the ones that go through the fence.
okay. I want to go back to that because we had talked about it on the previous broadcast from the game before, and I thought of a good point. I thought of a good point.
What's your good point? Because I bet my point's better.
I
bet even if my point's not better, I bet it's just better.
So a line drive in the MLB gets stuck in the mat. What is it?
It's ground rule double as that pitch hits Kyrell Taylor, who cannot field it cleanly. So Kendall Rivero on with a 2-out. Well, reached on error. It's not his error, but reached on error. It would be an E6. Okay, yeah. But
So if a hard line drive rolls under the fence, what is it?
pretty sure it's a double.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in
But
that
if it
case, it's
literally-
almost the same thing. Because it's under.
But it's also rolling. That's on the ground.
I mean, it could
Not
be on the
you
ground.
You literally said rolling.
Yes.
You can't go under the fence without it hitting the ground. As the first pitch Caleb Welshire sees is low for ball 1.
That would be pretty
so
impressive if
I'm
you
saying
could.
if you literally tear through the fence, that should be a home run.
Let's let the viewers chime in and see how they feel about this. But I'm sticking strong to it.
If any of you viewers even care about this mundane argument that we're just quabbling over, chime in.
I mean,
I don't even know if I'm right. I just think it's one of those. It's kind of the rule in a lot of sports where it's like, if it looks cool, it should count.
Yes, but then you got to think like.
As the 2-0 by Caleb Welshire fouled off. Count now 2-1.
First, say in Kauffman Stadium, there are mats in Kauffman Stadium that the ball has gotten stuck in. Right?
Yeah.
What did they call that a ground rule double?
Yeah, but it didn't cross. I'm saying if it literally goes through. We're not talking roll. Goes through in the air.
Interesting.
2-1 to Welshire. Hit to second base. Throw over first is in time. So that'll do it. In the first inning, 1 run off, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left on. Baldwin City takes an early 1-0 lead via a Ryan Cox solo home run. And we will take a break and come back with the top of the second inning.
first baseman, number 31.
Giovanni Toledo leads off the top of the Giovanni Toledo leads off the bottom of the second, the top of the second inning. He sees a 0-2 count, puts this one in play, but fielded by Logan Whalen, who is chases after, doesn't bother to flip to first. He just tags Toledo, and Toledo did the thing where he
like
kind of tried to run backwards. Yeah. If they chase you all the way to the dugout,
32, Andy Pacheco.
let's say
Yeah, go ahead.
this isn't. It would be a fun caveat. Maybe for banana ball, because that's like not real baseball, as Andy Pacheco swings at the first pitch of the at bat. But maybe if the pitcher chases you all the way back, or chases you and you get all the way back to your dugout and safe, you're not out.
Interesting.
The other one fouled off, make that a
So then, what would happen? Like, you go back up to the plate, or you get a free base?
I don't know. I was thinking like you just
Go to the back of the lineup?
yeah.
And no
As
out.
First pitch by Padilla, hit into the glove of Caleb Welcher. 2 outs.
Like, no out rewarded?
But like it's only if you're like actually being chased with the ball. So you can't just like, oh, I'm going to be out, I'm going to run back to. It's such a dumb rule that it really should not be in like baseball.
So, like, if I was a pitcher, if I was Whalen and I got the ball and I just didn't really want to chase him at all, could I just throw it to first and get the out?
Yeah.
So, like,
it's such a rare occurrence.
okay, I got an instance. So, like, if they don't get the out at first before he passes the batter's box back, then maybe like they have the opportunity to run and chase him to the dugout.
Yeah, maybe. But count is 1-0 to Keegan McDonald.
Oh, now that we're talking about absurd rules, I would like to point out the ruling that we did find out on this
You're such a narc.
so-called predicament.
By the way, count 2-0.
So for those that are just tuning in,
The 2-0 hit past the glove of Jackson Evans into left field. Keegan McDonald on with the first hit of the game for Junction City, and his first hit of the evening.
so the argument
Junction City with a base runner with 2 outs.
the argument that we came up with was Joe asked, if you hit a line drive to the fence and it goes through the fence, I think he thinks it should be a home run. I think it's a ground rule double, and I found the
Can we meet in the middle with a triple? I don't care about the ruling.
The ruling says
The 0-0 to Zach Becker outside. 1-0.
generically for the award of a double when a batted ball goes through or under a fence, and when it goes through or sticks in shrubbery.
The
Needless to
1-0 hit to Whalen, and he didn't bother to try and tag him. He threw it over to first that time.
That's valid.
And the throw in time, so
Needless to say, I'm right.
Well, no, you're not. Keegan McDonald gets on base, but will remain there. No runs off 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. Baldwin City retains their 1-0 lead, and they'll have a chance to add to that after the break. Tyson Grammer leads off the bottom of the second inning. Baldwin City with a 1-0 lead. That lead coming courtesy of a Ryan Cox solo shot in the bottom of the first inning. Baldwin City with their first lead of the day and looking to add to that. It will be Tyson Grammer looking to get that job done. Grammer, his second appearance, first he did appear on the mound in Game 1 for one inning. The first pitch he sees delivered by Connor Prizer, a ball.
Speaking of delivered, did you buy anything for Prime Day?
The fact that I didn't know it was one says no. When was it? Today?
It was the 16th and 17th.
Well, that sounds like 2 days, actually.
Yes.
Prime 2 days.
Well, yeah. You know,
The 2-0, swung on a miss, 2-1.
There's a lot of options out there, so you gotta, pick what you want, put it in the cart, and then sit on it for a day to reevaluate if this is something you really want.
No, you pull the trigger immediately.
See, that's where you get instant regret, and you're like, why did I buy this?
No. Well, it's things that I've wanted to buy.
As
I put off doing it, and then I finally do it.
As a broke college student, I can attest to.
As a broke
my
graduate
theory.
assistant, I can also attest. You make more money than I do. 3-1 the count.
And you're probably right.
And the 3-1 pitch low in the dirt, ball 4. So Tyson Grammer on with the leadoff walk.
By all means, I don't put Prime Day as a sponsor for this broadcast, but I would love to. So any Amazon employees,
Amazon Prime, hit our line. You have tons of money.
we can definitely put you on the patch like Quick Trip and the Royals.
Yeah, except I think that benefits, But Austin Rocha with his first plate appearance of the day. He takes first pitch for ball 1. Much like Grammer, he also threw in the first game. He started, was credited with the loss. Gave up 6 runs in the top of the second inning in what ended up being a 13-0 ball game. He sends one to the glove of Kyril Taylor. The throw to first, throw to second in time. The throw to first off the bag, and I'm not sure he would have been out anyway. But
I did not see.
The fielder's choice either way is how he reaches.
The right fielder, number 26.
Do you think Amazon would ever sponsor a team like Quick Trip does?
I actually think they.
Or what companies do you think would sponsor professional teams, like Quick Trip does to the Royals?
Okay, I'm just gonna throw a hypothetical out there as Prizer throws over to try and catch a Rocha at first, not in time. Although was very close. I'm gonna throw a hypothetical at you. Okay, I got one.
Okay.
Wish.com for the Lakers. Or the Mr. Beast food for the Charlotte Hornets.
Interesting.
Just count.
I can see Mr. Beast doing something like that.
Yeah, he sponsors one for the Charlotte Hornets.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, that was not a
hypothetical. That's actually pretty cool, though. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But what big companies like Casey's for say, or Gator? I guess Gatorade kind of does just everything.
Yeah.
Can't really do that.
The 1-1 swung on. Now 1-2. How about
I'm looking at this bag of chips right now. I'm like Tostitos. I think that'd be pretty cool.
They used to sponsor the Fiesta Bowl.
Yes. But a team and just have the Tostitos logo just right on the arm sleeve.
I don't know. The 1-2 hits Ivy, and Ivy, the league leader in hit by pitches, extends that lead. I believe he is now at 8.
It's just that guy.
And in steps Kai and Gus. Two runners on first and second with one out. And maybe
Center fielder number 2, Kyan Gus.
Like if you were an owner of a team, right?
I would want Bad Boy Mowers.
Bad Boy Mowers, huh?
Sponsors of the Pinstripe Bowl. Or maybe Duke's Mayo. The Duke's Mayo Bowl is as Kyan Gus lays down a bunt. Connor Prizer fields it. The throw is offline.
Great bunt by Gus.
So everybody advances safely. Yeah, and both Ivy and Arocha had a tiny bit of a jump on it, but
yeah, I think the biggest part of this field, rather than others, as we've talked about in previous broadcasts, is obviously the infield being grass. It's gonna make the ball die just a little bit sooner and stop where it's at. So
especially changing from Junction City being the only turf infield facility in the league, and now you go away from home. If you are Junction City, you're playing on grass.
Yeah, it's definitely a big factor for sure.
As first pitch, Marquis Williams sees a ball.
And now we do have speed on the bases for Baldwin City, as we obviously talked about how this team is just all around pretty fast. But
have it in the batter's box too. Marquis Williams might be one of the faster players I think I've seen
in the league.
In my 4 years watching this league, he takes the next pitch outside for ball 2. Two-0, lone in, 3-0.
Joe, have you ever had a really strong pet peeve? Like personally,
where do I start? I have a few.
What's your main?
There's one I have as a 3-0 outside, high and away, 4-4. Austin Rocha steps on home, and Baldwin City doubles their lead, and we're going to have a mound visit by manager Chandler Bloomer, and for us, a break. Jackson Evans, the first batter after the mound visit.
All right, Joe.
He takes the first pitch low for ball 1.
You know, being in school for almost 40 years now, I'm curious what some of your pet peeves might be.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
The 1-0 swung on a miss by Jackson Evans. Make that 1-1. Sports pet peeves are.
I think those are a completely different ballgame, right? Though.
But that's a version of pet peeves.
It's,
but that's like most of mine. One is the 1-1 hit up into the air and in a glove of Kyrell Taylor, 2 outs. Saying the lower score first. So, like, if I said the score was 0-2 right now,
right,
it's 2-0, and then you say who's winning. Yeah. As Ryan Cox steps up,
I think that's a big one for a lot of people.
Cox 1 for 1 with a home run.
I think he can. Cox does have the speed, and he has a triple under his belt. if not 2, of this season.
1.
Oh, just 1? I know he had at least 1. That was against the Kansas City Monarchs in the Blue Valley District Complex.
Blue Valley District Athletic Complex. Schweitzer. Whichever way.
Any
I'll
others?
think of other pet peeves. The 1-0 in there, 1-1.
Like, this is a personal pet peeve for me.
Yeah.
But it's
How
just,
about yours?
Just wet socks. I hate wet socks.
I feel like I
it's
wouldn't
like-
call that a pet peeve because I will say my thing with pet peeves is generally it's like
Has to be
what other people do.
right.
The 1-1 outside. In there for a called strike 2, well framed as well by catcher Keegan McDonald.
So you think they should be because of other people, not
Yeah, like I
yourself?
hate wet socks, but I wouldn't say that's a pet peeve. Or I guess like kind of, but like I guess yeah, when I think
That's
of pet peeves, I think of like what other people do. The 1-2 swung on him fouled.
That's why I say like personal and other people
Yeah.
pet peeves.
Personal,
you know?
I would say I think wet socks is a common one
I think that one's just a tough one,
because it's the most uncomfortable experience. I think.
right? I know like a story that I have at Baker University is just walking across campus while it's just downpouring. And for those that have been to Baker University, it is not the biggest of campuses.
1-2 outside.
And
2-2.
from one side of the campus to the longest other side, it's probably an 8-minute walk, if that. And had to walk all the way across campus, and my shoes and socks were soaking, and I was not too pleased.
In that case, I just take my socks off.
In class?
Sort of. The 2-2 swung on and missed. So that'll do it here in the bottom of the second. Baldwin City tacks on another, but strands the bases loaded. But their lead doubled. They now lead 2-0. After 2, we come back after the break with the top of the third inning. Sam Padilla leads off the the top of the third inning for Junction City. The first pitch he sees by Logan Whalen, a strike. So the count 0-1. The 0-1, low, ball one. The 1-1 outside for 2-1. I don't really have any other pet peeves. I definitely do, but like none that come to mind.
Right.
2-1, swung on and missed. Make that 2-2. Even at 2-2. There's another 2 up there. That's the 2 runs that Baldwin City has scored. And the 2 runs, 2 innings that have elapsed. The 2-2, low and away 3-2. No other games going on in the league tonight. Just
You know what game is going on
Just
though?
this doubleheader. Not the Philadelphia Water Dogs. They lost again. It's the 3-2 fouled off.
It is not, but it is the boys in blue are back at it after the All-Star break. They're at home against the Chicago White Sox.
We should win that.
And bottom of the first.
Payoff pitch. Hit into center field. Kai and Gus under it and makes the catch. One away.
Bottom of the first, the Bobby Witt Jr. himself coming back like he never left. Hits a solo 399-foot no-doubter home run to left.
So that one didn't land like 5 feet short of the fence?
That's so tough.
It was.
That you
It
bring that
was.
up. I was crying in the airport of Detroit when I was watching it.
I was crying in the press box of here.
That is tough.
Yeah. The first pitch that Cale Hortner sees outside for ball one. Next one up and out of play. 1-1.
You know what another personal pet peeve is?
What?
And I guess I really can't get mad because it's like my own self. When there's bug bites, like on the inside of my elbow or the inside of my knee. Yeah, I got one on the inside of my knee, and it really bugs me.
Yeah. It does? It bugs you?
Yeah, bugs like from
Yeah.
Bug's Life. You ever seen that movie?
I have. It's been a long time. The 1 and 2? Hi. 2 and 2. Now, yeah, that would rank lower on my Pixar
Really?
ranking.
I think it's a good classic to keep in mind, but it's not one that I would go to.
The 2-2 swung on a missed. Make that strikeout number 3 for Logan Whalen. And there is 2 away. And we loop back up to the top of the order. It is Kyle Taylor, who was strikeout number 1 in his first at-bat of this game.
In the first strikeout of the game.
Kyle Taylor.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
First strikeout in the first at-bat. I would say, as the 0-0 in there, 0-1. Cars is still my favorite.
I mean, you can't get away from cars.
I'm a big proponent of Cars. Yeah.
I feel like we talked about that quite often of just the significance of cars.
I love Cars. Yeah. Not Cars 2 is
Like just-
okay, but
Okay.
Cars 3 is still pretty decent, but not as good
I
as the
think
original.
it goes 1, 3, 2.
Yeah, I think many people would have that order. Toy Story, really good as well.
Very big classic. Not a fan of 2. Not a fan
2
of 2.
is good. 2 is good. 3 is good. 4 is all right. The 1 and 2 swung on a missed. Logan Whalen with strikeout number 4. Kyle Taylor sat down a second time. Baldwin City preserves their 2-0 lead, and with that, we will head to a break and come back with the top of the third. Bottom of the third. Bottom of the third. Kendall Rivero leads off the bottom of the third inning. Baldwin City leads 2-0 in this game as Kendall Rivero swings on the first pitch he sees from Connor Prizer. Strike one. The 0-1. Low for ball one. Baldwin City scored one each in each of their first two, the bottom of the first two innings. In two very different ways as well. As the 1-2 hit foul. Or excuse me, 1-1 hit foul. Now 1-2. But two very different ways. The first run of the game in the first inning, a solo shot by Ryan Cox to left field. And the bottom of the second, that run was walked in. Baldwin City would later go on to strand 3. But they did get one, so the lead is 2. This ball hit to Kyril Taylor at short. The throw over to first. Offline, but Toledo applies the tag anyway. So Connor Rivero not forced out, but still out on the base pass. And in steps Caleb Welshire. Kind of cold.
It's kind of chilly in here. Whoa, while you're saying it's a little chilly in here, let's check what's outside, huh?
Do you like chili, the food?
I mean, I'm from Kansas, so I kind of have to.
I don't think you have to because I don't
With
really
cinnamon
like
rolls?
it. I like cinnamon rolls. Caleb Welshire hits one into left field. Padilla running up to get it, and he makes the grab. 2 outs.
So while we're talking about chili, it's currently 79 degrees in Baldwin City, making it feel like 79 degrees.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah. Sunset is still supposed to be at 8:42 tonight, with a humidity percentage at 57%. And we got 5-mile-an-hour winds with 8-mile-an-hour gusts to the northwest.
Kim and Kanye's daughter? I made that joke in the first game. The first pitch that Tyson Grammer sees to the set bat, high and away, ball one.
But looking to tomorrow.
1-0 in there, 1-1.
Looking to tomorrow for the All-Star game. For the Home Run Derby setting time. Yeah.
The 1-1 fouled off the count now, 1-2.
Okay, so back to the weather for.
Also, tomorrow you're always a day away, right?
Pardon me?
It's from the musical Annie.
Oh, I guess yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was not
The
clicking.
1
in
and
my
2,
head.
low, 2-2.
Have you watched both versions?
I can't even say I've even watched one of them.
Really?
I might have seen one. I've definitely seen one. I
So
don't
there's the
remember.
original one.
Yes, and then
And then the one with Jamie Foxx.
Okay, I've definitely not seen that. I might have seen the original, but I think there's been other versions of it.
The one with Jamie Foxx, I would say, is actually really good. I mean, I do like
2
the
and 2,
original.
low
but
outside for 3 and 2.
I do like the Jamie Foxx.
So the count now full to Tyson Grammer.
So speaking of that All-Star game, it's supposed to take the Home Run Derby is supposed to take place at 4 p.m. and it looks like it's going to be around 81, with 60% chance of
Payoff pitch, fouled off.
thunderstorms, but it does not seem like there's suggested. I want to put that loosely termed there, but suggested that there's going to be no rain at that time.
By Blind Melon. I thought it was funny.
Pardon?
Never mind. 3-2 the count to Tyson Grammer. The payoff pitch.
In there.
Catches the outer part of the zone, but it is a strikeout, so that'll do it here in the bottom of the third inning. No runs off, no hits, no errors, none left on. The lead remains 2, and we will take a break and come back with the top of the fourth inning. Ian Luce leads off the top of the fourth inning for Junction City. It's a new pitcher for Baldwin City.
Danwar Muskerkin.
Yep, it is Danwar Muskerkin. Logan Whalen's day is done. I don't have the stat line in front of me, but I believe he went 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, no walks, 4 strikeouts. The first pitch that Ian Luce sees from Danwar Muskerkin is a ball.
I know.
So the count, 1-0 after the foul ball, 1-1.
Logan Whalen did pitch against the Kansas City Monarchs in that Blue Valley complex, but
quite well.
He
went 6 innings and got the win as a reliever.
Yes, I was going to say that is one notable thing. As a reliever, he goes 6 innings after a good performance by Ty Clark as well. So.
Yep. 1-1, low for 2.
I do
Well,
understand
making it 2-1.
why they are kind of holding Whalen for some time, as he is obviously shown to be a pretty prominent pitcher for the Blues.
Yep, and the 2-1 inside. So the count out 3-1 to Ian Luce. And that one nearly hits Luce, but didn't matter anyway, even if it did, because it was ball 4. Ian Luce works himself a leadoff walk. So up next is David Simmons.
Number 18, David Simmons.
Okay. Bella and Page, next half inning. Bullpen Sports
The one runner on first base. Runner on first base. David Simmons, loose goes. Simmons ropes one into left field. Ryan Cox backtracking, cannot get it. Bounces off the fence. Loose, held up at third. Loose held up at third. Simmons hit to...
And I believe Luce was actually looking at Simmons like, hey, I was supposed to steal on that pitch, but obviously it paid off for the Brigade.
Yeah, because...
But we've seen, obviously in my time in baseball, I've seen definitely some tough situations where line drives.
Yeah, if Cox gets that, then maybe Luce has enough speed to maybe not get doubled off. But
right. But it's a sticky situation.
Either way, it pays off for Junction City. They have runners on second and third with no outs. And Giovanni Toledo up at the plate. First pitch Toledo sees is low and away for ball one.
One thing I will say in the Mid-Plains League this year is there has been a lot of great catchers behind the dish.
A lot of great defensive catchers and ones that will, keep the ball in front of them. As the 1-0 low 2-0.
And I'd say just overall, as a position, just whether that's trying to pick off runners or catch them stealing, I mean, I'd say they've done a pretty decent job.
The 2-0 hit up in the air, out of play. So 2-1. Let's see, runners on second. The tying run is on second base currently. Toledo represents the leading run. That's 2-1. Low. Count now at 3-1.
I was talking to Coach Tanner Comer today before the game as well, and I don't know. I don't think you can see Coach Comer on the broadcast, but he does have 2 pairs of sunglasses.
Does he?
And I asked him what they were for, and he was telling me
the 3-1 low. Ball 4. Bases loaded now with nobody out.
He was
and Andy Pacheco up at the plate.
He was telling me he said, well, the first pair is for when the sun's up, and not setting at any close to setting anytime like that. But then he said the second pair, it wasn't as polarized. And I asked him, okay, what was that? What was that pair for? And he said, well,
what was it? Grizzly-eyed? That was one of my worst.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a good dad joke.
Yeah,
it was there. I appreciate the effort. But he said that those are for the sunset, because he can see better with those. And so
interesting.
It was quite interesting to talk to him about that, because I was
never even thought about that. As the first pitch Andy Pacheco sees is into center field, caught by Kai and Gus. Ian Luce tags up. There won't even be a throw to home. Both Simmons and Toledo held up at their bases, but the sac fly proves successful, and Junction City cuts the lead to 1. Score now 2-1 in favor still of Baldwin City with 1 out. And Keegan McDonald up at the plate.
Number 35, Keegan McDonald.
The first pitch that Keegan McDonald sees is ball 1. The 1-0 fouled off. Make the count 1-1.
For the Blues, it's obviously ideal to get a ground ball here from Dan or Musterkin, but and seeing that Simmons is on second for the Brigade, obviously you just want to find some green in the outfield, whether that's ground ball through the infield. But Simmons obviously with some speed, he can definitely score with a base hit.
The
tie this game.
1-1, low 2-1. But you don't want to find maybe some kinds of green in the outfield. Baldwin City wearing green today.
That was pretty good. I actually do like that one.
If you find one of them, it's probably in their glove. The 2-1 low. Count now 3-1.
Well, I guess there's all types of shades of green out there over the fence, too.
That's true. Like the trees.
Really? I was thinking more of the sky.
The 2-1 hit to Ryan Cox. He's up near the warning track, but makes the grab. David Simmons
And a great
will
toss by
held
Cox.
up by will be held up at second. So crisis averted there, at least temporarily.
All of a sudden
They
you
get
have,
the out of McDonald. Now there's 2 outs.
Yeah.
What color? What shade of green were you thinking in the sky?
Designated hitter number
I was just
2,
kidding.
Zach
Uh,
Becker.
Because you were pointing out the obvious with the trees.
You know what? I didn't think it. Wow. You know,
Oh.
I guess I should take that because I do that all the time. So.
I thought it was Grizzly.
You know what? It was kind of funny.
No,
It was kind of funny.
I would say it was pretty funny.
The first pitch, Zach Becker sees low and away,
But I would
or
like
low and in, ball 1.
I would like to know if some of the viewers actually get a majority of the jokes that you or I, mostly you, make.
I really just I make them to make myself laugh. And that's probably unbecoming of me as a broadcaster, but
Hey.
they want to know a ball.
I mean, if you're having a good time, I think that's all that really matters, right?
Yeah, the viewers
know.
should probably try to have a good time too. But maybe
Yeah.
I'll make my jokes more palatable. I'll try that.
All
Right
right.
now, they're so stupid that they make you just bang your head on the wall.
Not yet.
Count is 2-0 to Zach Becker. Make that 2-1. That pitch catching at the outer third of the zone. The 2-1 high. Ball 3. So
I was curious, Joe. I'm pretty sure we talked about this in previous broadcasts as well. But were you ever an accessories guy when it came to baseball?
no, I never even wore batting gloves.
Really?
No.
Bare hands and everything, huh?
Yep. Bare hands and everything. The 3-1 swung on and missed, so the count goes full. Nope. No batting gloves. No batting gloves. Obviously, sliding mitts are a fairly recent innovation, so I never had one of those. I don't even really think I knew how to slide, truth be told. Nope, it was all pretty simple to me. No payoff pitch. Where Muskraken caught Simmons off the bag a little bit, wheeled around, but Caleb Wilshire was playing so far. Caleb Wilshire and Jackson Evans playing so far off the bag in either direction that there was no throw to be made. The payoff pitch fouled off, and we will do it again.
I do not blame them. There's 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. So I do understand where they're coming from. And
Yeah.
full count, I mean, obviously you're going to see runners going. But,
So were you an accessories guy?
you know, I was a batting gloves guy. Never believed in the elbow guards, ankle guards or foot guard or however you want to talk about that.
Payoff pitch hit once again foul.
But were you a baseball glove or a batting glove? Oh yes, you didn't wear batting gloves. I was gonna say batting glove under the glove guy, but
No, I think I'd done that before and it just never felt right.
it never did. How many fingers did you have in the pinky hole for your baseball mitt?
1, sometimes 2.
Mm.
The payoff pitch high for ball 4, and the bases are loaded for Sammy Padilla.
The left fielder, number 16, Sammy Padilla.
And Sammy Padilla comes up to the plate and takes the first pitch inside for ball 1. And it was off the glove of Arocha. And David Simmons able to come home. Becker and Toledo moving up a space themselves. This game is tied now at 2. And the count 1-0.
Were you a chin guard?
Chin
the
guard or
helmet?
shin guard?
Chin.
Oh, like
helmet?
what you see a lot of the guys wear. That was still a pretty
Fresh.
rare thing. Even like
Was it?
you really only wore you only saw MLB guys wear it, and it was usually after they got had some kind of
Right.
face injury.
Like Kyle Isbell with his NBA face guard.
Yeah. So those face masks are a little different. The count is
Right.
3-0 to Sammy Padilla.
But, that sort of equipment
Yeah,
after an injury.
something like that.
How do you feel about the sliding mitts?
I don't know. They look a little funny, but I guess I guess I'm not sure, completely, the benefits of them.
I mean, I think they do have a strong material. So, it prevents, injuries,
Okay, preventing injury, that's good
finger
enough for
and
me. Yeah. Of course
But it almost
those
seems
are-
like everything nowadays is for preventing injuries, too, but also is a part of showing off,
It's true, the
your certain
3-1.
equipment.
High for ball 4, and the bases once again go loaded. Kale Ortner, the next batter up to the plate.
So I was a chin guard guy.
We are going to have a mound visit from manager Tanner Kilmer, and we're going to take a short break and be back after that break.
We are back into the action, and we do have a new pitcher for the Baldwin City Blues. It is going to be Gavin Alvarez on the mound with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th with bases loaded for Cale Ortner. The first pitch is fouled straight back for strike 1. And I know I talked about the sunglasses from Coach Tanner Kilmer, and I did see in that mound visit that he is wearing his second pair for that sunset, so as that's going to catch the outer third for a quick 0-2 count for Ortner. Alvarez has had some good outings and some not so good outings, but he's definitely been working as that ball's in the dirt, but great block by Rocha to keep it in front of him for ball number 1. He's had his ups and downs, but overall he's really put in the work and trying to succeed to the next level where he plays at Baker University for his senior year. Here's a pitch, and that's going to be in there for called strike 3. And that will end the inning, or in the top half of the inning for the Brigade, as they
2 runs
do
on 1
score.
hit, no errors. Sorry. Okay, I'll let you go. I
As
just jumped
they
in.
do score 2 and are able to tie the game here in the top of the 4th, but we'll be right back after a short little break.
Austin Rocha leads off the bottom of the 4th inning. A tie game after the top of the 4th. So we are tied now at 2-2. Austin Rocha looking to break that deadlock and give his team the lead back. They did lead 2-0 to start, and then Junction City plated 2. There is a new pitcher. It's Colton Figs, who comes in relief of Connor Prizer. And so far, he's thrown 2 pitches, 1 strike, 1 ball.
50%.
That's true. The 1-1 high, 2-1. So now 33%, or 67%.
If you round up.
Well, I was just thinking of like of which direction, like 33% balls, or 33% strike, 67.
If you round up. 66.66 repeating.
Well, you know what? The count is 3-1.
And now it's 4-1.
And the 3-1 low and in the dirt, 4-1, and we don't do this. Yeah.
We don't talk about Bruno? You know what that's from?
No.
That's tragic. It's a great Disney movie.
Fielder number 26, Hudson Ivy.
Remind me.
Encanto.
Yeah, I never saw it.
It's a lovely movie.
Hudson Ivy. Is that a newer movie?
Yeah, newer-ish.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't
I'd say
seen any new.
Definitely 2020 and above.
New Disney. Yeah,
I don't
that, especially that new.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was. Yeah, it probably was 22. Yeah.
Hudson Ivy sends one up the middle, and Austin Rocha is going to have to race to get to the bag. He does, however. So Hudson Ivy on with a no-out single. Baldwin City with runners on first and second.
Definitely a tough one to read there, obviously.
Yeah.
With Hudson Ivy just kind of digging it out of the dirt there. But with the speed of this Brigade team, you never know if they can get to a ball or not.
And really, Pacheco and Carol Taylor were both pretty close to it.
Yeah, for sure.
As first pitch, Kyan Gus sees is high for ball one.
I was going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if Kyan Gus actually lays down a bunt here.
He did, yeah. He laid down one. That was this game, yes.
Yeah.
And moved the runners as he lays down another one. And
Going to get the lead runner.
Yep.
Great heads
Figs
up
throws,
play.
yeah, Figs throws to third and gets a Rocha, so I guess job done in that sense.
Great heads up
Yeah.
play, I will say. I mean, I thought for sure Figs was going to go straight to first, but
I did as well, and I think that's what Prizer did when he fielded it.
And he fielded it, turned his shoulder, and fired right to third.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm going to be honest, I really wasn't even looking at third because I thought there was going to be a play at first.
I wasn't looking at either.
But Marquis Williams, the top of the lineup for Baldwin City, out for his third inning of work.
One thing that I can only think of is if you get the steal sign, and Kyan Gus is obviously known to lay down some pretty nice bunts. That Rocha might have been safe there, but
Yeah.
obviously in summer ball leagues and whatnot, signs aren't really given. It's more of a
Yeah,
green light.
that's a pretty cool. Yeah, you have to be pretty coordinated for that. And
right.
as Williams shows bunt,
And Ivy does a little delayed steal.
yep. So runners at the corners now for Baldwin City. The count 2-1 to Marquis Williams.
Yeah, Simmons was just sleeping at the bag, and he's going to creep up a little bit for Marquis.
Yep, and as now Gus goes, Williams hits one. It goes off the glove of. It was off the glove of Pacheco. However, hardly a routine play. So I'm going to call that a hit.
I would say it was a
Yep.
hit.
Yep, and Baldwin City with runners at first and second now. Jackson Evans at the plate, and Baldwin City with the lead now.
Going to be their second lead of the game.
As Hudson Ivy was able to score from third on that play. So runners at first and second. The game 3-2. Jackson Evans hits one
Late
foul.
And in this case, I don't think, if that was fair, I don't think it was gone.
Yeah, I agree.
Needless to say. The
Even
launch
though
angle was
kinda
way
odd.
too high.
I'm rubbing my temples right now. The 0-1. Swung on and hit to Kyrell Taylor. Takes kind of a weird hop. The throw to second in time. The throw to first in time as well. The 6-4-3 double play gets Junction City out of it, but not before Baldwin City scores another run. So Baldwin City gets their lead back. They now lead at 3-2. As we go to the top of the fifth, we will take a short break and be right back.
In the bottom
Kyrell Taylor leads off the top of the 5th inning.
Number 3, Kyrell Taylor.
Baldwin City currently leading this contest by a score of 3-2. Taylor looking to tie the game back up and maybe even take a lead. It's Gavin Alvarez out for more work as Taylor shows bunt, but that pitch way high, pulls back. Ball 1.
Joe, I'm not going to lie. I thought this sort of game was going to be both games today. I was
Low scoring as Taylor does make contact on another bunt, but it's fouled off and the fence 1-1.
I wouldn't necessarily say like a low-scoring game, obviously, because both these teams have shown that they can put up runs, but just close.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a very back-and-forth game.
And obviously,
for both,
in that game, Junction City just broke it open and never allowed Baldwin City to get back in it,
right,
or even get in it in the first place. As the 1-1 is outside, the count now 2-1.
But I will say,
inside 3-1.
This Blues team has a lot of veterans that have played 2 or 3 years with the Blues, but then they also have quite a few new guys that bring in some new blood.
Yeah, a decent mix there is the 3-1 high, and Kyrell Taylor on board via a leadoff walk.
Were you the knee-high socks guy, or were you pants all the way down to the ankle when you played?
I was like, pants down as far as they could go.
Gotcha. And I've seen some kids nowadays, they even have such long pants.
As the end loose fails first pitch off down the first base side.
They have such long pants that they'll literally hook it through their spike on the back.
I feel like
it really does kind of make me mad seeing that. But
I feel like that's a little dangerous.
I understand, if you have long pants, but I feel like you could also just tuck them in your socks, right?
Yeah, or
shoes,
or fold the waistband over. I guess you got your belt there. As Alvarez throws over to first to try and catch Taylor, cannot find him. So I guess I mean, maybe if it was like a regular pair of pants, you'd fold the waistband over, but can't do that when you have a belt loop. Ian loose, ropes one, just foul. 0-2 the count.
I think the lights are just about to come on here soon.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't. It's about 8:16, and normally they'd be on by maybe about 7:45, 7:50, but not odd, but we still have a decent amount of daylight
until the sunset.
But as Ian Luce takes the 0-2 on the foot, so he's on via an HBP. And
where do you think the worst place to get hit, like known place to get hit?
Besides the obvious.
Yes.
Which doesn't even need to be said.
Right. I mean, I think that's pretty given.
I think that's, I don't know, maybe the back, but also the foot hurts a lot too.
That's kind of, or the ankle. I know a lot of ankle guards are
the ankle,
worn now.
I will say, I think it's maybe just because the just the back, you can generally hear it, thud.
Right. That
it makes it feel worse. As first pitch, David Simmons sees, low for ball 1. I don't know.
Because, I've definitely got hit inside the knee on my back leg, and it does not feel good whatsoever.
I used to get hit a lot as the 1-0 is outside. Make that 2-0.
Really? And was it where'd you get hit the most, would you say?
I don't know. Kind of here, there, and everywhere.
Okay.
It was mostly around that time when that's the 2-0 in there. 4 called strike 1. The count now 2-1. It was kind of in that time when the first year of kid pitch and when kids were just learning how to pitch, and so nobody really had any kind of command.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you were betting on a decent chance you're going to get get hit by a pitch.
Right.
Count 3-1 to Simmons. He sends one out into left field. Ryan Cox is giving chase. Kai and Gus, it lands in between them. No, it does not. Well, it does, but over the fence. David Simmons with a 3-run home run. So Junction City not only ties the game up temporarily for about 5 seconds, they now lead by 2. Off that, David Simmons,
Continues to
3-run
stay
shot.
hot.
Yeah, 3 for 4 in the first game, and
I believe that's either 2 for 3 or 1 for 3. Can't remember what he did his second at bat.
I can't either, actually. But he's got at least 4 hits tonight.
Yes. One including a home run, and then he could have the combined game cycle or day cycle.
I don't think he has a triple, though.
But, I mean, still could possibly happen, for sure.
I mean, eventually, yeah. So he's 2 for 3. The first pitch that Giovanni Toledo saw was fouled off. So the count to Toledo is 0-1.
Speaking of getting hit, my last at bat as a baseball player was actually taking 80-mile-an-hour fastball straight to the tricep.
Ooh, that must have hurt.
Yeah, I kind of wish that I did have that
elbow guard?
Yeah, because it definitely
The
would have
1-1
lessened the
there.
blow. But
Count now 1-2.
But yeah, it was quite painful for sure.
The 1-2 sent out into left field. Ryan Cox giving chase, and that one is over the fence as well. So Giovanni Toledo, right after David Simmons' 3-run shot, Giovanni Toledo extends Junction City's lead. They now lead 6-3 off back-to-back home runs here in the top of the 5th.
And those are just great pieces of a barrel. Obviously, getting through the zone, nice and easy, but also turning those hips just at the right time as the ball is coming in. And
we're going to have a mound visit by manager Tanner Kilmer, and we're going to take a short break.
Pacheco.
Andy Pacheco, the first batter up for the new pitcher, Brennan Johnson. He comes in to replace Gavin Alvarez, and the first pitch that Pacheco sees is a swing and miss. The 0-1 roped in right field. Andy Pacheco on his horse to second, and he's going to stop there. Oh, nope, he's running to third. The throw there, he's out.
It's a lot of confusion on
Yeah.
the field, but
So
comes up with the Blues out.
yeah, I think so. So I believe it's a double, and then yeah.
Runners there.
So I don't know what he thought that, because it looked like Ivy still had the ball, and I don't know if Pacheco just wasn't sure if Ivy still had the ball or not.
I think there was a little
misses.
There was a little bobble.
Okay, and so Pacheco thought he could
Stretch out to third.
could run to third, and a very, very good throw by
Yeah.
Ivy, I will say.
No joke. And a great tag
By
Grammer.
Yep. Definitely agreed, as the count is 1-1 to Keegan McDonald. This one, foul. The count is 1-2 to Keegan McDonald. Make that 2-2. The 1-2 high. And the count now even at 2.
Johnson is not your typical pitcher to bring in, but I will say he does a great job of staying around the zone and letting either the batter put it in play, or he's had a couple strikeouts too along the way.
Yeah, he has. The last pitch by McDonald fouled off, so the count remaining at 2-2.
I will say, if it
And
sounds like we're in a soundproof booth,
we turned off the AC.
it is not, and it is quite quiet in the booth now.
The payoff pitch fouled off and out of play. So the count remains at 3-2. We will 3-2 hit over the glove of Johnson. Caleb Wilshire has it. The throw to second is offline, so Keegan McDonald able to take second base. That will be an E4.
I think Welsh, just in the heat of the moment, is, he's got to make a good throw, but also wants to get in there in time. So maybe a little quick of a throw there that obviously Rivera couldn't probably react to it in time, but
Nope. You're right. Yeah, it was pretty low too.
oh, was it? I can't
Yeah,
see
it
from
was
this
a low
side.
throw. But Zach Becker is up at the plate now, and he sees the first pitch in there for called strike one.
Number 2, Zach Becker.
Becker playing his second position today, caught in the first game. Of course, they're not going to, make him catch for a second. So the DH in this one, while Keegan McDonald catches. As the 0-1 low, 1-1. The 1-1 fouled off. Now 1-2. Yeah.
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 Yep.
Junction City taking quite the lead in this inning. They came into it down 3-2. As the 1-2 is low and away for 2-2. Then David Simmons hit a 3-run shot. And Giovanni Toledo followed up his teammate with a solo shot of his own. The 2-2 low, now 3-2, and that was all with nobody out. So the count is full. The payoff pitch
In there.
in there for called strike 3. I think Becker started windmilling his bat because he, as though to toss it
The left fielder, number 16, Sammy Padilla.
to make the trot down to first base. However, home plate umpire believed it to be a strike, and whether or not it was, it's not, it's none of our decision, as Sammy Padilla hits the first pitch into center field, and it's caught by Gus. So that'll do it here in the top of the 5th inning. Junction City scores 4 runs off 3 hits, 1 error, 1 left on.
We go to the bottom of the 5th. The Brigade leads.
Junction City takes a 6-3 lead, and Baldwin City will try to counter after the break. Ryan Cox leads off the bottom of the 5th inning. His squad trailing 6-3. And it is a new pitcher for Junction City. The new pitcher is Tyler Gagnon, who sees a 1-2. This pitch hit to Kyril Taylor at short. Throw it over to first in time. 1 away.
First baseman number 5.
Kendall Rivero.
Kendall Rivero.
The next batter up, I believe Rivero is 0 for 2 today. And needs to get something going as team trails by 3, as the first pitch he sees is an outside breaking ball, ball 1.
Seeing the way that breaking ball moved,
Moved a lot as the 1-1,
it's a good
or a
one.
1-0, a strike, now 1-1.
A good pitch sequence to keep that inside a little bit.
And
For
the
Gagnon.
1-1, another breaking ball, but this one in the zone.
Yeah, I mean,
1-2.
definitely has a lot of movement on his breaking balls and can definitely show that can be a crucial piece in his arsenal.
Yeah, tough to hit, not to eat.
Nice.
Fun to play with, not to eat. Oh, like Play-Doh.
Yeah.
Not the philosopher though. 2-2. Pitch low and outside. 3-2. Count now full to Rivero.
It almost seems like I think it's a curveball, almost goes elevated a little bit and then breaks out and away.
It breaks a lot, too, as payoff pitch is hit to David Simmons at third base. The throw over to first is past the glove of Giovanni Toledo.
I think it's going to go
And
under the fence as well.
Actually,
Oh.
it goes out of play, so Kendall Rivero allowed to take second.
Second baseman number 30.
That's the one thing that's
So-
kind of tough with this Mid-Plains League is obviously all the players bring lawn chairs and sit outside the dugout. So playing a factor into that, and quite funny to see them all scram away for a line drive foul ball or something of that sort as well.
First pitch, Caleb Welsh here sees is a little bit in the zone for strike one. Baldwin City with a runner in scoring position in Rivero. Welsh here chases the outside fastball, 0-2. Same thing. So the count quickly 0-2 to Caleb Welsh here, who fouls the 0-2 off and remains alive. The 0-2 in there for called strike three. Tyler Gagnon with his first strikeout of the evening. And there is now 2 outs. The lights are on here in Baldwin City as the sun is at least starting to set. But, yeah, still lots of blue skies. Most of the sunset is to the... Wait, that would be the opposite.
What'd you say?
Because I think this is the... Yeah, I'll think about this for a second. The count is 0-1. Make that 0-2. Nice breaking ball by Gagnon. Started pretty far outside and made its way in. The count now 0-2 to Tyson Grammer. The 0-2 inside and past the glove of Keegan McDonald. Kendall Rivero takes third base, so the count now at 1-2. You call them fireflies or lightning bugs? Just thought about that.
Did you see one?
I'm not sure. They 1-2 off the glove of Keegan McDonald. Kendall Rivero able to take home easily, so the count moves to 2-2, and Baldwin City gets a run back. So the difference is now 2. 6-4. The updated score. So what'd you call them?
I mean, I feel like as a kid there was lightning bugs, but
The 2-2 hit into left field, and not able to get there. At least catch it in the air. So Tyson Grammer keeps Baldwin City's inning alive with a 2-out single. And Austin Rocha stepping up.
something about Padilla is like just the fact that he is so speedy in left field. He almost overruns every single ball that he sees. And in that case, obviously, he overran that, takes a really slow hop being inside the grass. And lucky enough, he was able to make a good throw to second base.
Yep, the first pitch that Austin Rocha seen is hit to second base. Throw over to first is in time. So that'll do it here in the the bottom of the 5th inning. 1 run off 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left on base. Baldwin City cuts the lead, but Junction City still in front by a score of 6-4. We go to the 6th inning after the break. All right, folks, you get a treat this inning. Brett's going to do play-by-play, at least for this half inning. We'll see how he does.
Yeah.
Take it away, Brett.
Oh, thanks, Joe. So we are here in the top of the 6th as the Junction City Brigade is leading 6-4.
The top of the 6th for Junction.
And we do have a pitching change
Right fielder number 12.
for the Blues as Brendan Johnson did finish his outing, and this will bring Tyler Tamez to the mound for the Blues. Up now to hit will be Cale Ortner, which will be the bottom of the lineup for the Brigade as they move to the top, getting their 1 and 2 after Ortner.
I just thought of something.
What's up?
You know how "the" is like an old-timey word for like
high
you?
for ball 1. You said what?
Like "the" is like
Yeah.
an old, like THEE.
Yeah.
But we also say "the"
Mm-hmm.
for like "the."
So that's low for ball 2 to make the count 2-0.
But I feel like when we say "the," it's like it's a
like
massive emphasis on "the."
right. I think that's going to be inside for a 3-0 early 3-0 count for Ortner. Yeah, I think I think that's why English is so hard to understand for people that are obviously.
Oh, I thought it was because it originated in England.
Oh, well, I guess, yeah. And that's going to be a 4-pitch walk to start the inning for Tamez and puts a runner on first with no outs here in the top of the 6th. And that's going to bring up Kyrell Taylor and the top of the lineup for the Brigade. Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of like how there's 3 different theirs, you know, as that's
There,
going in.
there.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
That's low and in for ball 1, but that's kind of how I see it is. You know, there's a bunch of different pronunciations for different words and different spellings. As the runner goes, pitch is thrown, and it's just going to be not in time for Ortner.
He was close.
It was close, I will say that. Ortner did not attempt to slide, which almost made it closer.
Yep, I do think if he slid, he would have been in there comfortably. And
Yes.
Instead, he was in there semi-comfortably, like maybe instead of a mansion, he's in a nice 3-bedroom house.
in there for called strike 1, making the count 2-1. Yeah, I mean, as tall as Ortner is, too, I feel like he would have been in there with plenty of time. And that's going to be back-to-back strikes, making the count even at 2.
Maybe like would comfortably, if out was so uncomfortable, would that be like, you know, I don't know, something else like shack?
Checks.
Or is that just like you were out, but they called him safe?
I don't think I understand what you're saying.
Okay. It makes sense in my head, and I'll explain it after the pitch.
And that's going to be a line drive to Jackson Evans. He's going to take a hop. Throw is going to be and a throw to third after, and it's going to get away from Grammer. So Ortner will score. And the play at first will be out for Taylor, so there will be one out in the inning after that play. But the Brigade will extend their lead to 7-4 and try and gain a little more cushion here in the top of the sixth. Now comes Ian Luce to bat for the Brigade. Luce has had quite some success through this two-game double header, but we'll see if he can stack on a little more. As that's
If Ian Luce hits a home run, would you say that the loose is loose?
yeah.
Or would you say the loose is juice? Well, the
That
loose
might
is
be
loose.
juiced, as that's going to be a fair ball down the line, and Hudson Ivy made a dive, but Luce will have a stand-up triple after a high fly ball to the right field line, and Hudson Ivy made a diving play at it, but was not able to come up with it. So Luce will have a stand-up triple with one out here in the top of the sixth for the Brigade.
Lefty Lucy.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like a good media would be Luce is juiced. Like, the Luce is juiced.
Possibly.
The Luce is
Junction
juiced.
City media team, we have ideas.
There you go. And that will bring up David Simmons. And the first pitch will be a ball for a 1-0 count. That's just inside for a ball 2. And needless to say, Simmons has had a day. Let's just say that. He went 3 for 4 in the first game and has continued his success in this second game of the doubleheader, as that's low and away for ball 3.
Have you had a day? Today.
Have I had a day?
Yeah, has your day been eventful?
As that is low for a 4-pitch walk, putting runners at first and third with one out. I've had an A day. I started my
Interesting. A day.
I
But not a B day.
Yeah.
What about a C day?
if I had to rate it on
Even a D day?
if I had to rate it on a scale, like a letter scale, I would definitely
It
say
would weigh 250 pounds. You put me in the color rule, I go full Bill Walton.
You're pretty good.
Yeah.
You're pretty good. I will say. As that's in there for called strike 1 for Giovanni Toledo.
I play-by-play for the viewer's safety.
And that'll be in there for strike 2. So an early 0-2 count for Toledo. I would say it was probably a C a day. It wasn't anything
Is it
special.
a C day?
Yeah, it wasn't anything
70%,
special.
70, 78, 79%.
I like passing, but just enough. As that ball gets away from Arocha, and runners will advance 90 feet further as Ian Luce will score, extending the lead 1. So now all of a sudden there's a little more cushion for the Brigade as they are up by 4 here in the top of the 6th, and Simmons will take his respected bag to second.
So you know how they say that lightning can't strike twice in the same place?
Yes.
Can it spare twice in the same place?
As that's a line drive to left center, and Ryan Cox will take a 1 hop, and Simmons going home and will be safe as no throw attempted to home from Tyson Grammer at third, and will extend the lead even further now, making the score 9-5. 9-4. My apologies. And it looks like we're going to have a little mound visit from Coach Tanner Kilmer. might be a pitching change, and it looks like it is. But we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that after a short little break. And, yeah.
Okay, bye.
We are back into the action as we have a new pitcher on the mound. It is going to be Isaiah Garcia to face off against Andy Pacheco here with 1 out in the top of the 6th.
Did you ever watch Face Off?
I
I think that was Nicolas Cage.
That's outside for ball 1. I don't believe I have.
I haven't either.
Oh, well, that's awkward.
Can you fact check that, though?
And that's not going to reach the zone, so that's going to be ball 2, making the count 2-0 with 1 out.
By the way, you did never answer my question about
What was the question?
can lightning spare twice in the same place?
I mean, technically, as that's a foul ball, 4 strike 1. I mean, technically, yes, because if you're... For those that aren't understanding what we're talking about bowling terms, but...
No, I'm just saying. We don't even have to say if he hits the same spot in the lane. Just saying, can he do it? Can he do it twice?
I think he could do it twice.
Because I think if he could do it...
That's a swing and miss for strike 2. Making the count even at 2.
Because I think, like, if he could do it as, like... If he could spare it twice in the same place based off your criteria, they could also strike twice in the same place. And, you know, clearly not.
This is like... We're getting deep, as that's low for ball 3, making the count full.
Or maybe Lightning McQueen is he strikes a car on one side of the track, next lap hits the same car the same place. He strikes twice in the same place.
Could it be like...
Or if my name is Lightning.
That'd be kind of a cool name. That's just outside for ball 4.
Kind of like Lieutenant Surge.
So it'll put runners at first and second with 1 out. And it's going to bring up Keegan McDonald, the catcher for the Brigade.
Because I think, like... This is so much fun.
This is like inner thoughts just coming out for you, Joe, huh?
Yeah, because, like, Lieutenant Surge, he's... Well, he's not Lightning, that's his
outside for ball 1.
But his nickname is the Lightning American.
Okay.
Even though he does have a French Pikachu. That he'll offer to trade for... No, it's a French Raichu. Of course, it was at one time a Pikachu. They don't just pop out that way.
Line drive to left field, and it's going to take 1 hop before Ryan Cox throws it in. And looks like Toledo will score. and Pacheco will advance to third as they tried to make a play at third real quick, and Jackson Evans tossed it to Grammer, but not in time. And so that will put runners at first and third with one out as the Brigade will extend their lead once again, making the score 10-4.
10-4, good buddy.
I do like that.
Trucker talk.
Yeah. That's in there for strike one. Yeah, I use that quite often, though, in my family group chat.
Do you?
If they say something, I'll just put a 10-4 in there.
I just simply don't respond to mine. It's kind of a problem.
Yeah,
Dad, I know you're listening.
As runner goes,
It's not anything personal.
and looks like Jackson Evans could not come up with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we didn't got him.
English, I think we didn't get him. But that will put runners at second and third, making the count even at one with one out.
I'm doing it based off the ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
I see.
Yeah.
As a foul ball straight back. Puts the count at 1-2. For Becker, sorry.
What's your favorite EV evolution?
EV evolution, huh? So that's foul off once again to keep the count at 1-2. I was a big Flareon guy.
That's a good one. I like Vaporeon,
Vaporeon.
Espeon, Umbreon, Jolteon.
I was just a big
Glaceon.
fire guy.
I kind of forgot the grass type one, but that was a later addition.
So that's a pop up, and Jackson Evans will not come up with it as he tries to make a basket catch. And in scores Pacheco, and all runners will be safe. So that will be an E6.
Yeah.
And the misery keeps stacking on for the Blues as the score is now 11-4. And here all of a sudden, a game that was pretty close is almost seeming further and further out of the reach for the Blues. But
started this inning, I think it was a 2-run game, and
yeah,
Junction City has scored 5 to cut it. But you said the misery keeps
runners are
taking
going
on.
And looks like
I think he lost the ball.
Yeah, McDonald did slide in there, and it looked like he was under it, but Grammer almost seemed like he lost control of it. But all runners will be safe, so it will be second and third with one out. And then count 1-1 now.
You said the misery keeps tacking on? We're in Kansas.
I get it.
Yeah.
But it will be high 4-2 for Simi Padilla.
I'm seeing a comment that's saying, what time is tomorrow's All-Star Game and Home Run Derby? The Home Run Derby is at 4 p.m. And
Central Standard Time.
Central Standard Time, of course. And the All-Star Game at 7 p.m.
Going to get away for ball 3.
So we will have coverage for both of those.
I anticipate the Home Run Derby being electric. I wouldn't say as electric as
a thunderstorm.
Got me there, Joe, once again. But as the Home Run Derby for the MLB.
I don't know. Some of those guys, they've been...
That's a line drive to Welshire, and it did look like Becker kind of just got stopped in plain sight, and Welshire was able to tag or step on second for a double play. So that will end the misery for the Blues, as they were the Brigade was able to stack on 5 runs on 3 hits with 2 errors and 2 left on base. We will come right back after a short little break, and yeah. We are back in the action for the bottom of the sixth for the Blues as they are trailing 11-4, and now brings Hudson Ivy up to the plate. And I think there's a little discussion by Taylor Kilmer and the field umpire.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on there, but
Not either. Maybe they're talking about where is good for dinner.
El Patron.
El Patron, I'm surprised you did not say Taco Bell.
Wow. You think I don't? I eat slop, but I also eat good food too. Do you think that when I'm going to say my question.
As that's a ground ball, and it's going to roll away.
I think that might have gone in the dugout. It definitely, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
They're calling it out of play, and I think he was going to try and stretch that as long as he could. But
like I said before, obviously it's kind of tough with this Mid Plains League as everyone sits outside the dugout, and
yeah, with all the chairs and everything, it just adds barriers for the ball to go under.
Right. And you know, a play that might just be up against the dugout fence is all of a sudden now another free bag.
Hudson Ivy was running like a Hudson Hornet to get to second base.
Nice. Wait, do you think if he gets like poison ivy, the ivy's in the ivy?
That's true.
As this brings up Kyan Gus to play. Because that's high for ball one. And Toledo is creeping up, at least where the dirt meets the grass in the little divot at first base, just because he knows the reputation that Gus brings with bunting.
Call him Taylor Swift.
And that will be inside for ball two.
$10 on Mac Biggs in the home run derby?
Oh, man.
Might not be a bad idea.
That's.
I'm not sure the full. I don't have a full contestants list just yet. I hope to get that later tonight. Maybe study that
and that's
over.
Going to be a 4-pitch walk for Gus, putting runners at first and second here in the bottom of the sixth, and we'll bring up Marquis Williams. So it will be the top of the lineup for the Blues.
The designated hitter, 0, Marquis Williams.
I will say of the Quinn Grobel might be the man to beat.
He
5 home runs in Junction City with that right field wall as Grobel has a lefty.
Lethal.
Yeah, 18 feet shorter and right to left.
That's
Williams
shows bunt and takes it back.
If George Andrews represents Junction City again, which he did last summer, he did go pretty far there. I think he actually made the top 4.
It's me in there 4 called strike 1, making the count 1-1.
And yeah, lefties could do very well.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that fans out. As that's high for ball 2.
I got a good nickname for Marquis Williams.
And what might that be?
The main event. Because you'd put it on a marquee.
That might be one of your better ones. I'm not going to lie.
I wish that I didn't come up with that until a week left in the season.
It's a foul ball behind the visitors' dugout.
Allen Community College. I'm trademarking that. You know where to find me.
Right on the Sunflower Network, as the count is even at 2-2 for Marquis Williams.
Or on Twitter at MasterBlosive.
That's a shallow fly ball, and looks like Padilla is going to make the grab. Making it the first out of the inning, and will remain runners at first and second.
Number 4, Jackson Evans.
This will bring up Jackson Evans to hit. Hopefully Evans can get something going for the Blues with 1 runner in scoring position, but obviously with Gus's speed, it might as well be 2. And that's going to be a breaking ball in there for strike one.
Call that the Mona Lisa because that was a great frame.
That was a good one. I'm not going to lie. Props to you.
Jokes.
Props to you.
Yeah,
It
follow me
deserves-
on Twitter. I make,
Let's say. Okay, a little
a little bit of a confusion there.
little crazy business going on there, but it was a nice pick by McDonald behind the dish, and then Hudson Ivy thought about made a couple steps to advance 90 feet further, but was not able to, and then tried to run back while McDonald made a throw down. And needless to say, Ivy is safe at second.
Do you think his favorite field is Wrigley Field? Because of all the ivy in the outfield?
So that's in there for called strike two. Do you think he likes Sporting KC? Because, you know, they used to be sponsored by Ivy Funds.
Possibly.
Wait, do you think they were related? Like he's related to the team?
It's a different spelling.
Oh, well, that's
Do you think
awkward.
his favorite collegiate conference is the Ivy League?
And
Nice
that's going to be
pitch.
called strike three.
Great
Nice
pitch.
breaking ball that started at the top of the zone and breaks into the high outside corner.
I'll tell you what, I've been very, very impressed by
Left fielder number
Tyler
32,
Gagnon's breaking ball.
Ryan
I
Cox.
am too. I mean, I started from the start. I said that his breaking ball has a lot of movement, and he's definitely shown it. As that will be the second out of the bottom of the sixth, bringing up Ryan Cox. Ryan Cox did have a nice home run in the first inning to put the Blues up early 1-0, but has not had much action since.
Me too, brother.
That's going to be a line drive to Pacheco, and will make the grab. So that will be the third out of the inning, and leaving two runners on. But the Blues unable to bring any more in, and we will come to the seventh inning, which will be actually our final inning of the night, as we are doing 2 7-inning games for this doubleheader, and we'll be right back after this short break.
For Junction City.
And we are back into the action with the final inning, or, I mean, shoot, it could be the final inning of the game, as there's a new pitcher on the mound for the Blues, as that is a foul ball for Ortner. And the new pitcher on the mound is Colden Howerton. So obviously, as we talked about in the game prior, that's in there for strike two. Again, an early 0-2 count. A lot of teams are not going to try and stretch out their pitchers quite as much as we are leading into the playoffs here soon, actually next week. And that's going to be called strike 3 on the outer corner for Colton Howerton. And great sequence. Obviously, I mean, Howerton doesn't have many appearances for the Blues, but just putting it where Orton might not like it, and quick first out for the Blues. That's going to be low for ball 1 as we head to the top of the lineup for the Brigade with Kyrell Taylor.
Do you think John Cena is going to win the WWE Championship again?
Now that he's retiring?
Yeah.
As that's a high fly ball down the right field or first base line, and both Rivera and Ivy were not able to come up.
Ivy Coyote. He kind of ran straight into the fence. I was thinking Wile E. Coyote. It's better in my head, but
I feel like a lot of things are better in your head, but you know.
That's because they're the greatest thing ever in my head, and they still come out hilarious.
All right. You do you.
Only some of them. You do you, boo-boo. I'm too tired to do this.
And that's going to be out for
nice
ball
movement.
2. Making the
Nice movement, but
for the 2-1 count with 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Score is still, as it's low for ball 3. The score is still at 11-4 with the Brigade leading. And if you haven't noticed, as that's a ground ball to Jackson Evans, and will be in time with a nice scoop by Rivera to complete the second out of the inning.
Was a close play at first, though, and that's a testament once again to Kyrell Taylor's speed. I think he might be one of the fastest players on this diamond tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Him and Marky Williams definitely line up side by side.
I think we should do like the old days.
Race around the diamond. That's in there for call strike 1 for Ian Luce.
One fun thing that the Australian Football League does during their grand final is
That's a high fly ball to left field.
I'll tell you about it after the.
Ian Cox will come up with a grab for the third out of the top half of the 7th. And we will come back to see if the Baldwin City Blues can make a comeback, being down by 7. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on base for the Brigade. We'll come back after a short break. We are back into the action for the bottom of the 7th. My apologies, as we do have a couple substitutions for the Junction City Brigade. as Trevor Laughlin will take the position of shortstop, while Kyrell Taylor will be moved to center field. And that'll be in there for call strike one for Kennel Rivera, as
You got it right the first time.
as Ian Luce will be on the mound for the Brigade as well. That's a swing and a miss for called strike or for strike two, making the count early 0-2 count.
I pondered something.
And what did you ponder?
That
is a
in a 7-inning game, do they do the 7th inning stretch in the middle of the 7th, even if the home team was leading?
or do they do that in the 5th?
But that doesn't. That's not an alliteration.
And that's called strike three for almost seemed to be a breaking ball. And I'll be the first out of the inning, or of the bottom half of the inning, as now the Blues only have 2 outs
Second baseman number 30,
to work with here
Welshire.
in the bottom of the 7th, being down by 7. Whoa.
Ooh, that's the number. That's the inning we're in.
And a
Oh,
good eye by
but what I was
Welshire.
saying was,
Count is 1-0.
in the Australian Football League,
Yes.
part of the grand final festivities, it's called the grand final sprint. So each team,
That's a way for 2-0.
the fastest players in the league, do like I don't know the exact length, but like a 40-yard dash type thing.
Swing and a miss.
And
For
I
strike
think
one.
that we should do something like that for the All-Star game tomorrow between maybe the fastest player on each team.
And that ball will
And it would
Stay
most definitely,
high.
I think, be Kyrell Taylor and Marquis Williams for these two teams.
making the count 3-1.
Well, Marquis won't be there, but we could bring him there just for that.
It would be interesting to see, for sure. And that's going to be 4-1. So
not,
Wilshire will be
Vernon
on
Johnson.
with 1 out for the Blues, hoping to piece together some action and some motivation to,
Third baseman number
attempt to make a
21,
comeback here.
Tyson Grammer.
That'd be kind of crazy if they did. That'd be really their first comeback this year. Like, come from behind as far as, like, trailing going into the bottom of the 9th and
Yeah.
coming back and winning.
As a pickoff move is attempted to first and will not be successful. But this does bring up Tyson Grammer. And
Do you
almost
think-
a check swing for Grammer, but lays it off for a 1-0 count.
Do you think he likes hot dogs or is an excellent wordsmith?
Maybe. As that's a swing and a miss, making the count 1-1 with a 1 out. And the Brigade have 11 runs.
That's
And the other
that's 11 minus 10. Makes 1.
And a swing and a miss will make the count 1-2.
Man, I hope you got my joke before.
I did not, sorry.
Tyson hot dogs.
I-
Grammar.
Yeah.
Wordsmith. Yeah.
And that's away for ball 2, making the count even at 2-2. You think he likes Andy Grammer?
I think that's his dad's name.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Is-
I'm not
is
even
he
kidding. I
is
think
he
it
a
is.
performer?
No.
That's a swing and a miss for strike 3. So now all of a sudden, the Blues are down to their last out. As
The catcher,
that will
number
bring
13,
Austin Arocha
Arocha.
up to bat.
My brain is toast right now.
And foul ball straight back. Will be an early 0-1 count. Arocha doesn't really look like he has white pants on right now. I'm not going to lie. Being a catcher, obviously, you're going to get a little dirty and then sliding every which way.
He does have white pants though.
And
Bet you couldn't have guessed that though.
and a white helmet too, but
That's true. That is actually a little more noticeable.
and ball's down in the dirt, but they're going to see, and it looks like Welshire will be safe.
That's a obviously I don't think that was a calculated steal, but that's a risky move to
The last out of the game.
yeah.
Um,
Have seen Baldwin City get burnt on a last play of the game, get caught stealing. I think
yeah, I
once,
think I've seen
if
one
not
as well.
twice.
and that's going to be in there for called strike 2. So Deuces running wild. And, yeah, that throwdown, I think that might have just flown right past Welshire's face.
Yeah, it was definitely close.
That's high and inside, making the count full with 2 outs. So now they're down to their last strike and one more ball, and they can keep it alive. As that is flown way high, and Welshire will take third, while Arocha will take his respected bag at first.
Okay, so because that was a ball and that's not the end of the game, I do have a new ponderance.
Yes.
Ivy.
As Hudson Ivy is up to bat
So
now.
if 2 and 2, I know it's usually with 2 outs, but if 2 and 2 is Deuces Wild, would 3 and 2 be a full house?
I think we've talked about this before, as that's low 4, ball 1. I don't know.
Would that make a 4-pitch walk, 4 of a kind? And what's a royal flush? There's only so many combinations.
I know. I mean, I'm trying to piece together something, as that's in there for called strike 1, making the count 1-1. But I don't know. That's a great question.
Do you think that Hudson Ivy's favorite character
That's called
in
strike
Cars
2.
is Doc?
I mean, it would be kind of out of place if it wasn't, right? Like, it's almost
true.
kind of brought to him when he's born, you know?
That's true.
So it's inside for ball 2. So, Deuces do run wild once again.
Full House was a good show.
I loved Full House. Did you ever watch Fuller House?
No,
So
I
that's
heard
high
it
and
wasn't.
upstairs
I heard it
for
wasn't as good.
Ball 3. So, I guess your Full House is up on the table. Huh, get that?
Yeah, well, good one.
And it's going to be another walk for Luz. So all of a sudden, he gets quick 2 outs, but now all of a sudden the bases are juiced with 3 walks.
The center fielder number 2, Kyan Gus.
That will bring Kyan Gus up to bat. But in this case, I don't know if bunting is quite ideal.
Probably not, especially with the force at home.
And that's going to be low for ball 1.
Has been how he's put the ball in play most of the time. So,
And
he'll figure out something different.
He's done a great job, I will say, as that's an inside-out swing. It's going to bounce, and everyone's going to be safe. Everyone will be safe. It was definitely a lot of backspin on it, and I would say an infield hit.
The designated hitter 0, Marquis Williams.
Trevor Laughlin obviously tried to make a play on it, so that's in there for called strike 1 for Marquis Williams. But on that backspin, obviously once it hits the dirt, it might die quite a bit. That's in there for quick called strike 2. So the Blues down to their last out, or last strike, and that's fouled back to stay alive. But with that Kyan Gus infield hit, that will put the Blues at 5, so making the score. And that's a check swing strikeout. So a tough way to end the game. The final score will be 11-5, with the Brigade taking the second game as well. So the Junction City Brigade will take both games home, walking away with a 2-0 record in this doubleheader.
So, yep, that'll do it for us tonight. Thanks, Brett. That was fun.
Of course, always here, always an honor to be here with you, Joe.
You put up with my jokes. This might be our last broadcast here in Baldwin City, or at least mine. We're still trying to work out the details on that. If not, Sunflower Sports Network will be back tomorrow for the Mid-Plains League Home Run Derby and All-Star Game at 4 and 7 p.m. respectively. Those will be at Rathard Stadium in Junction City. And the playoffs start next week. We will have at least one stream going, if not 2, for most of those. But thank you all for listening, And hopefully you tune into the All-Star game tomorrow if you're not going. It should be a very, very fun time. Looking forward to it.
I'd highly recommend taking a listen or even taking a little watch. Even for 10 minutes, it's always fun to see what the best players in the league are and how they match up.
Yep. Well, thank you all.
Thank you.
Stay safe and have a good night.